Top 10 Most Expensive Guitars in the World. Number 10. Jerry Garcia's Wolf. Let's dive deep into one of the most iconic instruments in psychedelic rock history, Jerry Garcia's beloved guitar, Wolf. Wolf is a custom electric guitar crafted in 1973 by master luthier Doug Irwin. It was Garcia's request for something completely unique. The guitar made its debut on stage at a New York concert, and from that moment, it became inseparable from the identity of the Grateful Dead. How was Wolf crafted? The body was made from curly maple with a Purple Heart center block, giving it a warm, complex tone and striking appearance. Garcia later added stickers, including a cartoon wolf that gave the guitar its name. Irwin's design featured onboard effects loop and active electronics, offering Garcia a futuristic palette of sounds years ahead of its time. Why did it become so valuable? It wasn't just a guitar. It was Garcia's voice. From Scarlet Begonias to Morning Dew, it carried some of the most beloved improvisations in live music history. Its value skyrocketed after Garcia's passing, as fans and collectors recognized it as a sacred artifact. Where and when was it sold? In June 2017, Wolf was auctioned at Guernsey's auction house in New York, fetching $1.9 million. All proceeds went to the Southern Poverty Law Center, making it not only a piece of history, but a gift to justice. 9. Jimi Hendrix's 1968 Fender Stratocaster, Woodstock. Now let's explore a guitar that became a symbol of rebellion and peace. Jimi Hendrix's 1968 Fender Stratocaster, played during his legendary performance at Woodstock. Why was it historic? Hendrix closed out the Woodstock Festival in 1969 with a groundbreaking version of the Star-Spangled Banner, using his Stratocaster to mimic bombs, screams, and chaos, a surreal commentary on the Vietnam War. That performance made the guitar a symbol of protest, artistry, and electric innovation. How was it built? The guitar was an Olympic white Fender Stratocaster with a maple neck. Though designed for right-handed players, Hendrix flipped it upside down and restrung it to play left-handed, a move that defined his radical style. Where and when was it sold? In a private sale in 1998, the Stratocaster was purchased for $2 million by Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, who later placed it in the Museum of Pop Culture in Seattle. Though sold privately, its authenticity and value are well documented. 8. Peter Green and Gary Moore's 1959 Gibson Les Paul Standard. This guitar is no ordinary Les Paul. It's steeped in the legacy of two blues legends, Peter Green and Gary Moore. Why is it legendary? Peter Green, founding member of Fleetwood Mac, used this very guitar during the British blues explosion of the late 1960s. He passed it on to Gary Moore, who wielded it during his solo career and while playing with Thin Lizzy. Together, these musicians defined an entire era of British blues and rock. What makes it unique? Due to an accidental reversal of the neck pickup's polarity, this guitar produces a haunting nasal tone, especially in the middle position. This sonic anomaly became its trademark, cherished by Moore and fans alike. Where and when was it sold? In 2014, it was sold in a private sale to Kirk Hammett of Metallica for around $2 million. Its historical lineage alone makes it invaluable to any rock collector. 7. John Lennon's Gibson J160E. This isn't just a guitar. It's part of the DNA of the Beatles' early success. The backstory. In 1962, both John Lennon and George Harrison bought identical Gibson J160E guitars in London. Lennon's was used to write and record hits like Love Me Do, She Loves You, and I Want to Hold Your Hand. But it mysteriously disappeared in late 1963, and was considered lost for over 50 years. The rediscovery. It was eventually found in San Diego, owned by an unsuspecting musician. Experts authenticated it by matching the wood grain to photos and comparing serial numbers. The revelation caused a media frenzy among Beatlemaniacs. Where and when was it sold? In November 2015, the guitar was sold at Julien's Auctions in California for $2.41 million, making it one of the most valuable acoustic guitars ever sold. 6. Reach out to Asia. Fender Stratocaster. This isn't just a guitar, it's a symbol of global unity and musical generosity. The story. In 2005, a devastating tsunami struck the Indian Ocean. In response, Brian May, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, and 16 other legendary musicians signed a custom white Fender Stratocaster to raise funds for victims of the disaster. What makes it unique? It wasn't played on stage, but the 19 signatures alone represent a who's who of rock royalty. The guitar was part of the Reach Out to Asia charity campaign, initiated by Bryan Adams. Where and when was it sold? It was auctioned in Doha, Qatar, in 2005 and fetched $2.7 million, becoming the most expensive guitar ever sold for charity at the time. Section 5. Eddie Van Halen's Hot for Teacher, Kramer Frankenstrat. This guitar is pure 1980s energy, fast, loud, and flashy. Why is it famous? This custom-made miniature Frankenstrat appeared in Van Halen's Hot for Teacher music video in 1984. Built by Paul Unkert of Kramer Guitars, it became an icon thanks to Eddie's pioneering two-hand tapping technique and blazing solos. How was it built? The Frankenstrat mixed Fender body styles with Gibson humbuckers and a Floyd Rose tremolo system. Designed to reflect Eddie's ideal hybrid. It was small, powerful, and visually unforgettable. Where and when was it sold? In April 2023, the guitar was auctioned at Sotheby's for $3.932 million, shortly after Eddie's passing. It now ranks among the most valuable music video props of all time. Number 4. David Gilmour's Black Strat. If you've heard Comfortably Numb, Shine On You Crazy Diamond, or Time, you've heard the Black Strat, a Pink Floyd legacy. David Gilmour bought the guitar in 1970 and used it for nearly 40 years. It was modified numerous times with custom pickups, tremolos, and bridges. The guitar evolved alongside Gilmour's own artistry. Why so valuable? This wasn't a studio prop. It was a workhorse. It shaped Pink Floyd's live and studio sound from the Dark Side of the Moon to the Division Bell. Where and when was it sold? In June 2019, the guitar sold at Christie's for $3.975 million as part of Gilmour's climate-focused charity auction. It set a record at the time for the most expensive guitar ever sold at public auction. 3. Kurt Cobain's Fender Mustang, Smells Like Teen Spirit. This is the guitar that changed everything. In the opening chords of Smells Like Teen Spirit, grunge exploded into the mainstream. Why this guitar? Cobain had many Mustangs, but this sky-blue left-handed 1969 model was used in the official music video for Smells Like Teen Spirit, one of the most viewed and influential videos in MTV history. It defined the sound and look of Generation X. Where and when was it sold? In May 2022, it sold at Julien's Auctions for $4.5 million, a record-breaking price for a music video guitar. 2. Kurt Cobain's MTV Unplugged Martin D18E. This is not just a guitar, it's a memory. Cobain played this during Nirvana's haunting MTV Unplugged set in 1993, just months before his death. How was it crafted? The Martin D18E was a rare electroacoustic model from 1959. Cobain added a Bartolini pickup and adorned it with a pack of guitar strings and a Property of Kurt Cobain sticker, making it deeply personal. Why did it become so valuable? Because it was used in one of the most vulnerable, soul-bearing performances ever captured. Nirvana's Unplugged set gave the world a new side of Cobain, raw, fragile, and unforgettable. Where and when was it sold? In June 2020, it sold at Julien's auctions for $6.01 million, making it the most expensive guitar ever sold at public auction. Number 1. Rickenbacker Electro-Spanish Ken Roberts. Finally, we reach the king of them all, the Rickenbacker Electro-Spanish Ken Roberts. What makes it so important? This guitar, built in the mid-1930s, is recognized as the first commercially produced electric guitar with a full 25-inch scale. It revolutionized music by introducing amplified sound to live performance, a true innovation. It featured a built-in motorized pickup system and a unique steel body design. It helped usher in the age of rock and roll decades before it even had a name. Where and when was it sold? Though not sold at public auction, the guitar reportedly changed hands in a private sale for $7.5 million. However, due to lack of independent verification, this record remains unconfirmed. From Woodstock to MTV Unplugged, from blues legends to modern icons, these guitars are more than wood and strings. They are the instruments that changed the world. Which one blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you love history, music, and rare treasures, don't forget to like and subscribe. There's always another story waiting to be told.